So the inside of the building is actually open for self-guided tours. When I first started as a tour guide back in 2018, this was all under renovation. So this is pretty new, and they have it restored to how it looked back when Robert E. Lee lived here. It is very authentic, true to the period, and looks amazing. And we're going to go in and check it out right now. So we are right inside the front door now. A house sacrificed. Before the Union Army crossed the Potomac River in May 1861, the Lees fled their home. They saved most of the Washington treasury, including the bed where George Washington died, and their most valued possessions. And this painting of Annie, their daughter, is right here. Dining room. So this is roped off, but there is an upstairs that is not open to the public. And the dining room from the side. This desk right in front of us has quite a history, and I will read it to you now. Robert E. Lee's office, a long-awaited pardon. As punishment for fighting for the Confederacy, Lee, like all other Confederates, lost his rights as a U.S. citizen. To regain those rights, Lee submitted a request for a presidential pardon 2 months after his surrender. His request was denied, and he died without his rights restored. Still, his action inspired thousands to follow his lead, the first real step toward reunification. Using Lee's desk in front of you, President Gerald Ford officially pardoned Lee in 1975. So right here. And here is a photo of that moment, President Gerald Ford. A consequential decision, Robert E. Lee changed the course of American history in this room on April 20th, 1861. He rejected President Lincoln's offer of command of the U.S. Army and resigned from his decades-long career. He wrote, "I have been unable to make up my mind to raise my hand against my native state, my relations, my children, and my home." He knew that his wife and children would soon be forced to flee their beloved Arlington. And the Union General Winfield Scott said in 1861, "Lee, you have made the greatest mistake of your life." And this is Robert E. Lee, not Winfield Scott. And this is where we exit the house. Although at the exit is where it says, "Welcome to Arlington House, the Robert E. Lee Memorial." I guess there's really nowhere else to put it. You saw the entryway, you just couldn't put this there. It would ruin the authentic feel of everything, so it kind of has to be in the back. And we need to give props where props are due. I told you about that renovation when I first began as a tour guide. It's because of this man here, David M. Rubenstein. His $12.35 million donation enabled us to restore the mansion and slave quarters, improve accessibility, and enhance our interpretation of the many people who lived, worked, and died on this plantation. So the very first burials at Arlington were from before it was a cemetery. It was people from the plantation itself. Family and enslaved people. And now we exit. Here is a whole timeline, and at the top it says a place of division and reunification, and there is the front of the house. When the Civil War broke out, the Potomac River, to your right, became the dividing line between North and South. Shortly after Robert E. Lee resigned from the U.S. Army in 1861, Union soldiers seized Arlington House. 60 years later, a nation still healing from the Civil War built Arlington Memorial Bridge. This bridge connected the Lincoln Memorial to Arlington House. And here it says, Arlington Plantation was a strategic defense for Washington, D.C., and the mansion became headquarters for several Union officers. A working plantation, and here's the timeline, 1778, the beginnings of the plantation when John Parke Custis bought the land, Martha Washington's son, and then her grandson built the house. Now remember, George Washington didn't have his own children. George Washington was Martha's second husband, and these are children from his first husband who passed away before she met George.